Welcome, 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 welcome. So excited today. Very special day. Have a very dear friend. Hasn't been on in a while. Not because I don't love him, just because it's been one of those times. Going to get him on in a minute. Several of you have written to me reminding me, don't forget Lewis Herms. So he's with us today and he's got some exciting news. I'm excited to get him on. But let me just do what I got to do. Take 2 minutes. National gathering, July 4th and 5th. It's national. So it's exactly in the middle of the country. It will be in Columbia, Missouri, July 4th and 5th. The 4th, it'll be 7 to 9 will be prayer. And then at 9:30, we have our own private fireworks show because it's on 167 acres. It is absolutely gorgeous. And then on the next day will be the gathering meeting. It's called Celebrating God and Country. That'll be at 1 o'clock until 5 or 6 or whenever. We don't know. You never know with these things. You never know what happens with these things. So how do we do this? How do we pay for these things? Because you don't pay for a thing except to get there and where you stay. That's it. Listen, if you got an RV, they even have an RV park. They got cabins. 10 minutes away are hotels. So we'll send that all out to you. If you subscribe to thegatheringmovement.org, you will get a first shot at these free tickets. There's only a few hundred of them. They're going to go like that. So please just subscribe because those people are going to get the ability for the first 2 days. And then on Friday on Fab 4, we're going to open it up to everyone. Okay, so how do we help pay for this? Well, my daughter, take a look at this. Fight, fight, fight. It's just one of my favorite hoodies. So she's got this. This is in the joyncountry.com in Delora's closet. Also, I got a bracelet here. And she wanted the necklace. I'll maybe while Lewis is talking, I'll go grab the necklace. Here's the bracelet. Again, fight, fight, fight. And then the 3 stone earrings. These are fight, fight, fight earrings. There's only a couple of these left in stock, she said. So if you want them, you got to grab them. But this is what I wanted to get to you, and then we'll bring Lewis on. These are our new tumblers. This is all in copper. Psalm 91, written out in a heart. These are stainless steel, double stainless steel. And it says available in other metals like silver and multicolor iridescent. All these items are in the description below. She said you can also find them in Delora's closet on Joy and Country website. A lot of new items, a bunch of car charms and spring boutique and patriotic inspirational things. Go to the new tab. And if you've never bought from us before, you can use the code WELCOME10 and remember, always free shipping. Okay, without further ado, let me bring this man on. If there is anyone on this planet, whether it's round, oval, flat, or egg-shaped, I don't care. This man probably believes the closest, and not because of it's the thing to do. Way back, he's, we've agreed that, I was a libertarian way back, and he was as well. And we're just a believer in freedom. His site is called Screw Big Gov. I absolutely love it. Anyway, welcome, my friend, Lewis Herms. Hey.
Howdy, howdy.
How are you? Hey, how's Mariceli? How's she doing?
She's so beautiful as usual. You know that. And she keeps me in line, so that's even better, right?
That's why I like her.
Exactly. So she brings out the whip every once in a while, and then I go, do something like
I'll tell you, us ladies got to keep that whip hanging on the wall.
That's right.
Okay. A lot of people, actually several this past week, because you're there, you're always there. Like I needed you one time to jump in and you're like, I'll do it for you, Delora. So I appreciate that, Lewis. And I told you I was going to have you on, but doesn't it seem like one week just goes into the next, the next. And
Oh,
before you know it, here we are headed toward April. And it was like 2 months ago, I said, let's do something together. So here you are. And then I got really excited because you text me and you said, I got something, if you want me to, I can do on your show. And I want you to. So I am going to turn this over to you, my friend, and let's hear what you got.
all right. Let me test the screen share just real quick and make sure
Okay.
we'll see, make sure I
You
have that.
know, today's the first day where I'm streaming on X as well.
Oh, are you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I broke this news on X on yesterday only because I have to happen to simulcast my show over there and it's going viral right now. So it's really good.
Wow. Awesome.
Let me see, sharing screen works best on a good computer. Okay, share screen. I don't need sound. Okay, let's see, select. Yeah, that's interesting how this is working. Okay,
If you went into present,
Yep,
and you said share screen.
yep, I got it. It's working.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
So now I'll
Awesome.
just keep that on the side and I'll allow it when it's time. All right.
Okay.
So this is a story that is 30 years in the making. And it is an absolute God thing. In fact, every time I say it, there it goes. Wow, just the God bumps are going crazy. My hair's standing up. It's so what happened is I worked for a commercial drain cleaning and plumbing company in Southern California back in the day. And in fact, it was the largest in the California. And myself and my friend were the chief troubleshooters. Like, so not to pat ourselves on the back, but we were the best. If they had to figure something out, we had to go in there and figure it out. So what happened is the owner called personally and said, I'd like the two of you to go do a job in Beverly Hills. Well, that was unusual actually because it was a residential job. It wasn't a commercial job. So generally, in regards when we were doing big jobs, they were commercial. So all the Bonds, the Ralphs, and you know it's Southern California, so you're familiar with those type of grocery stores, right?
Oh
Carl,
yeah. Lived there for many years.
Right, Carl's Jr.'s. I think they call them Hardee's out there. So there's virtually every large franchise. We would be the plumbers and drain cleaners for. So we got this call. So we headed up to Beverly Hills, and the first thing that we saw should be showing the screen now.
You want me to add it?
Yeah, if you could, I think then I should be a perfect. Now I could run
There
it.
it is.
Yep, now I can run it myself. So the first thing we did is we came up to this gate. Well, isn't it interesting that this gate is blurred on Google Maps? And it'll make sense why it's blurred. This is blurred on Google Pro and Google Maps. So this is in Beverly Hills. We go, wow, okay. So we call the security gate, and the guards open the gate. Now, this is not a community. This is one house. And they have their own security guards. So
And they knew you were coming because you were going to work on something for them.
100%. So what happens is this is the gate on the bottom right. That's the same gate that we just saw. We go in and we have to make this left turn to get in. Now, why this is interesting is there's a wall outside and a wall inside. This is well protected. So we go down in here, and then we make a turn, and we see this house. This is a 45,000 square foot mansion in Beverly Hills. 45,000 square foot.
45,000.
That's right. And we soon find out, in fact, here's a top-down view of it. We soon find out that we are tasked to do our best to find everything that has to do with the drain and the plumbing, even landscape drains. And you can see how huge this 5-acre property is. To find landscape drains is a big task. So we knew that we were going to be there at least a week. I'll call my buddy Clive because these are actually These are going to be undisclosed witnesses, and I have corroborating witnesses on all this stuff too. So Clive and I are on the phone with the boss, the owner, and he says, I need you to go through this whole thing. And your goal here is to build up the biggest invoice possible. So this guy that is buying the home, because it was in escrow, by the way, would be able to reduce the price. So ultimately, it was on the market for 39 million. He got it for 20 million, not because of the work.
Now, wait a minute. What year is this?
1993.
Okay, go ahead.
So he got it for 20 million, not based on what we found. He probably got maybe $100,000, $200,000 off for that. But the reason why he got it for so inexpensive is because he made a deal with the previous owner. And here's what that deal was. The goal of the guy that was purchasing the house, which I will release his name, by the way, right here. The goal of the guy purchasing the house was to be able to hold this elite party that this place is known for every single year, where they have all the top celebrities from Hollywood. They have the top politicians there. They have the top entertainment industry. Anybody that is anybody, it can go to this affair, but it's a special invite. Anyways, so that was his goal, because he wanted to transition from owning grocery stores to being a Hollywood producer. So he made a deal with the previous owner of this estate that he would keep this party going and hold it appropriately. So now we get into the good stuff. This place is called Green Acres. Not the movie, but it is in Beverly Hills, and it's called Green Acres, which we can get into later. So it's the Harold Lloyd estate. Harold Lloyd is a famous movie guy back in the day. So the person that bought this, and the reason I keep saying gentleman, and then I cut it off because he's not a gentleman. I hate to give him that tag. So this guy's name is Ron Burkle, and we must remember this name. Ron Burkle is the owner of this house. And now we're going to tie some things together that are going to blow you away. So do you see where the pool is, Delora, right there?
Yeah.
When we were there, it looked like this. That pool area looked like this. So that pool is new. So this is actually Harold Lloyd right there, the old Harold Lloyd. So when we go around the property, we see a lot of things. Start inspecting. One of the things we saw is this. It looks like just a house, right? It's a tiny house. It's a miniature-sized house where only children can fit in to this house.
Looks like a fairy tale house.
Oh, it's funny you'd say that, and I'll tell you why in a second. So this is actually Harold Lloyd back in the day, and you can see he's bending over all the way. This little girl, she's probably 4 years old, is standing in the house. So we have to inspect everything. So we crawl into this house, and to our surprise, we said this was a joke. We're like, hey, we're just going to tell the security we have to inspect everything because we were curious, right? We didn't think there was plumbing in here. Oh my Lord, there is. There was a miniature-sized porcelain toilet and sink that was all hooked up to plumbing. It actually was fully functional. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I'm not talking plastic. I'm saying made out of porcelain. So the real stuff. So by the way, in 93, we didn't think of the ramifications of any of this stuff. Later in life, I found out some things that would blow me away and tie it all together. They also had this there. This is a full-size horse carousel on the property. And you said it looks like fairies. Guess what it was called? This is called Fairyland. So now at the time in 93, I have to be very transparent. I was thinking, oh, wow, how cool is this for a bunch of kids to play in the backyard over here? This is amazing, right? Now, based on the knowledge that I found out, it gives me a sick feeling in my stomach. So back to the property. This is the property. Now, if we look down at the bottom right here, this area right here, there's a secret gate right here that has bushes growing all over it. just like in the movies, right? So you wouldn't know it. It's so secret that to this day, Google Pro has not named this street. And this is not a private street. This is a public road behind the property. Google has not named it. So they're clearly trying to hide something. I said, okay, we can't hide much because guess what? I was there. So I knew what to look for. This is that entrance to the hidden gate right here.
Okay, can I ask you before you go on? That was 30 years ago. Now, I don't know where you were in relation to who you are now. I was into stuff even then. Did you have like a question mark? Like, what is going on here? Did you ever walk down that road?
Yes. Yes. We went all the way back there. So that's how we found it, because we were under the guise of us looking for these drains. We were walking the property, right? And that's how we saw from the inside. We saw it later that night. We decided when we got there in the morning, we're going to get there early, and we went down behind it. And this is how we found the entrance from behind it. Now, I took this off of Google Pro, and I think this was a snapshot from like 2004 or something. I'm not quite sure, but it's harder to see it today. So they're starting to blur this stuff out, right? So that's a secret gate, which you're going to find out why they have a secret gate here in a moment. Now, to answer your question, was I questioning back then? Yeah, to me, it was all very odd. And when you see what I'm going to show you in a minute, you're gonna understand why it was super odd. I didn't think of the ramifications of human trafficking at that time.
Right. I understand.
To be fully honest, that was not in my realm of thought in regards to this, but it all comes together for sure. So that's a secret entrance to this place. So we go in the building. There's kitchens that are two huge industrial kitchens inside this place. That this is no exaggeration. You could have 30 employees in these two kitchens. Humongous. Now, I couldn't figure it out then, but I know now what their goal was. Is they wouldn't want to bring catering in because they have these exclusive parties where they probably do very naughty things at. They want to make all the food on site, so it's a control, right? And then look at this. So we go upstairs, and I'm going to show you a couple things. By the way, the next few images I created on Grok. These are not actual images. We go into this room, and we call it the black room because the frames are black. Everything's black. The pool table is black. The felt on the pool table is black. Right next to the room, attached to it, is what's called the black bathroom. So they have a black urinal. The urinal actually went all the way to the floor, an actual porcelain black urinal. Oh, look at that. You see the Masonic floor. They had black toilet, black sink with gold fixtures, right? Even then we were like, this is pretty dark, right? That's what we were thinking at the time. Very dark. Now here's where it gets cool. So then we go on the grounds in the largest room, which was right next to the library. And we go into the library, which is a beautiful mahogany library, just like you would see, Delora, on the movies. Those sinister libraries with
with the ladder.
Door. Yes, the ladder goes across it, and it had one of those, and the door opens up, right? That's the type of library what this was. So my friend at the time, I believe it was him that mentioned, let me backstep. So these guards were following us for about a day and a half. And I finally called
guards. Wait a minute. Guards were following you around the property?
Security. And by the way, and this place was vacant, and security was following us for a day and a half, which was weird. So
that's bizarre.
I ended up calling the owner, Ron Burkle. And I said, Ron, here's the deal. Would you like to pay more or would you like to pay less? He's like, that's a ludicrous question. Of course, I'd like to pay less. I go, why don't you call off the dogs? Because they're tripping over us. We're tripping over them. We can't get anything done. What are you worried about? There's nobody here. You don't have any valuables in this place because it's up for sale. He said, yeah, you make a good point, Lewis. I'll call him off. He didn't know that the goal I had was to call off the dogs is so that we can freely roam every little facet of this place and inspect it because it was fascinating, right? So he called him off. So when we're in this library, my buddy says, I wonder if they have a bookcase that opens. We were laughing, ha 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 ha. And then we see a seam in between two bookcases. And I said, look out, make sure the guards are nowhere to be found. So he's playing lookout, and I'm pushing and pulling on this thing, and it clicks. And then it pulls forward, and the door actually opens to the bookcase. And behind it is another door. I was like, wow. We were like looking at each other like, this is real. We're living this right now. So I checked the door, and the door was unlocked. I said, let's go in. And we go in, and it drops down to stairs, and the stairs go below into, of course, catacombs below. By the way, this tunnel system below this house is nowhere to be found on city planning. So what we did is we went in, I closed the bookcase door behind me, right? So they wouldn't have a clue. And then we went to explore. While we're going down the stairs, we started to have this stench, this, but it wasn't a bad stench. It was cedar, right? But the closer we got, it was stronger and stronger and stronger, where I had to cover my nose because the cedar, and my eyes were starting to water. The cedar smell was so huge. And it's because there was shoe shelves that were about, I don't know, could be 30, 40 feet long. I don't know. They were super long on either side, and they were made out of cedar. At the time, I was joking with my friend. I go, maybe Imelda Marcos lives here. Because if anybody remembers the wife of the Philippines dictator, Imelda Marcos, she likes collecting shoes, right?
Yes.
So we're going down there, and then let me pause here. So I didn't know what the ramifications were then, but now I called somebody I know, a buddy that works with search and rescue dogs. And he's the premier guy.
I need to stop you 1 second.
Please, anytime.
Okay. When you said Ron Burkle,
mm-hmm.
I was I was a talent manager for many years in New York and in LA. And I also had people in music. Is that the Ron Burkle? He invested. Are you getting to that?
That is the Ron Burkle.
Whoa.
Yes.
So he owned this house?
Ron Burkle still owns this house.
Now you want to talk about God bumps?
Yeah. Oh, it's going to get better.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but I'm like, wait a minute.
Keep on.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're not even close to the good stuff yet.
Oh, Lord.
So I called my buddy, who's the premier dog handler for search and rescue dogs in the country. I mean, he's one of the best. And I said, what would the ramifications of this be in 1993? Say if a dog was trying to sniff out blood, cadavers, semen, anything like that. And he goes, well, what it could do is it could mess with their olfactories, and they would shut down. They wouldn't even keep looking after that. And I said, wow, interesting. And it would make sense that they would have this at the entrance of this tunnel system, right? Because if the dogs ever got down there, if they ever found it, they couldn't find anything. So that's why I believe that the cedar shoe shelves were really there, because it didn't make sense that you would put those.
Absolutely.
Why would you put those underground?
Absolutely correct.
Right? You're not going to put cedar shelves underground. It's a 45,000 square foot house. You would have them in a room. It doesn't even make sense, because you probably have a chandelier that's worth more than all the shoes anyway. So it's ridiculous. So then when you go down the hall and you make a right past the bookshelves, you see this. Now, we see this type of thing in houses nowadays, right? But in 93, for me, this was a big deal. In 93, to have a screening room, the leather seats, the luxury, the reclining, and it just was amazing, right? So they had a screening room underneath the ground again. Then we go down, and there was one room, I think, if I remember, it was like had a tiny bowling alley and some stuff, things that maybe children would like to enjoy, right? Which is, again, why would that be underground? And then we got to the end of this tunnel, and there's a steel door with a lock on it. You know, I tried it, but I failed. It did not open. So,
Oh,
so that door could go, because the place on what it is, that the tunnel could go to the Playboy Mansion. The tunnel could go to the Getty Center. We don't know exactly where it is. So Burkle, here we go. Let me do this.
oh boy.
Boom. So Ron Burkle would host these parties, right? And one of his major guests, by the way, best friend, you're going to love this, Bill Clinton.
Well, that's not surprising.
No, it's not. Now listen to this. And this is where the God thing all comes in. So Bill Clinton, while he was president, would go to these parties at Burkle's house, right? Claiming he was someplace else. I later found out that Bill Clinton stayed at these parties for over a week at the house. And what he did is he told everybody he was at Martha's Vineyard. This was while he was president. And what Clinton did is he has Secret Service Team A there at the party. When he wants to stay for a week, he sends Secret Service Team A away, and Secret Service Team B comes in. I confirmed this with this former Secret Service agent. I made sure I was doing my diligence. And he says, yes, Secret Service Team B would be his boys, the ones that aren't going to tell on him what he does. Now, here's where it gets interesting. About 20 some years, almost 30 years later, I'm in a different business, and I'm running a company that does beautiful landscape work and so on and so forth. We build fire pits outside and fireplaces and outdoor kitchens and, beautiful water features. So I get a call to this lady's house. I'll just say she's in Los Angeles. And it turns out we became fast friends. So we would talk about things because she was married formally. She was the ex-wife to one of the most famous people in the entertainment industry that you could possibly imagine. And if you saw this guy's face, everybody, I would say people in India and China know this person. He's that famous. Everybody in America knows this person. So this was her ex-husband. And so we were just talking, and she was blackballed from the industry because she was a Trump supporter. So she was blackballed. So she was kind of venting, and we were talking back and forth. And I never talk about this mansion that I was in. I just have to say, oh, there's this mansion. I heard they had these wild parties. And she said to me, Green Acres? And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. I go, I don't know. It was owned by Ron Burkle. And she goes, she turned white. She just turned white. I said, what's going on? And then she said, let me tell you what's going on, but you can't tell anybody who I am. She says, he used to hold these big parties. Bill Clinton would go there. At the end of the party, I was best friends with Burkle's wife, and he would send his wife and me away on these exotic trips for sometimes weeks at a time.
Oh my
Out of
God.
country, right at the end of this party. Unbeknownst to her, she did not know, but she ended up asking some people that or like security guards and so on and so forth what happened. When she left, security team B came in, secret SSB, and all the young women were shipped in through the back gate that we're talking about. And they bring them in to this place, or maybe they come in from under the tunnels. I don't really know, right? All I know is she's confirmed, and somebody else says this is what was going on at that mansion. So Bill Clinton, while he was president, in my opinion, was trafficking young girls at
Oh,
that time. Now I'm going to bring it full circle. The reason why I'm bringing out this story now to this depth is because something came across my feed about a month ago, and I said, wait, let me check it. There's a connection between Burkle and P. Diddy, but it's the biggest connection you can imagine. I now think Burkle or his associates are maybe the financiers of Epstein type behavior. Listen to this. Ron Burkle is the godfather to P. Diddy's children.
I knew, let me tell you what I knew. Ron Burkle, Clive Davis were connected in supporting Diddy. Now, I knew that way back. You know, now that everything starts to connect, but that's why when you said Ron Burkle, I'm like, wait a minute.
Ron Burkle also, and you know how these guys operate with their money, gave P. Diddy $100 million for P. Diddy's clothing line.
Oh,
As an investor. Ron Burkle's connected to Meghan Markle. Ron Burkle is connected to that. P. Diddy's #1 party that he would throw off-site from his own house was thrown by Ron Burkle, a birthday party. In fact, let me show you an interesting picture real quick.
wow.
Let's see here. Sorry, it's a little slow for me.
It's okay.
That's P. Diddy with Justin Bieber, as they were, in my opinion, trafficking Justin Bieber at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what was happening. That's what was happening. His mom was a good man, a good woman. And they were in Canada. Really great Christian lady. I think about her often.
Yep. It's sad. This, if now I would like people to start researching Ron Burkle. I believe he either did or tried to buy Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch.
Yes, I'm going to take a peek right now. I have a feeling that is exactly the person that wanted to buy it.
And then
wait a minute. It says he bought it.
He did. There you go.
He bought it for $22 million as a land banking opportunity. The ranch was evacuated, and as the lake fire burned nearby in 2024. Wow. But it's owned by Ron Burkle.
There you go. So Cash Patel, Pam Bondi, give me a call. I will give you the witnesses' names, but I will probably only give it to maybe Cash Patel, maybe to Trump himself. I'm not releasing this information in order for it to get buried. I'm only going to release the information in order for this to move forward into prosecutions. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Wow. Wow.
See how God just placed me in weird spots, right? I had no idea what the ramifications of this. And if I wasn't a truther, I probably would never even released it. So there you go. Put me at this mansion. I have a feeling I was there because I was the super inquisitive type. I'm the guy that would have shooed security away to go look at everything, right? Didn't know it at the time. Put me in front of this wonderful lady that was just willing to, now she's finally ready to disclose stuff. And then with the right connections to call a Secret Service person and the dog person and put it all together. Crazy. Is this amazing?
Oh, I don't even know what to say. When you said his name, I knew it. I wrote it down. I went, now, I find it interesting. When did the show Green Acres come out?
Okay, so the Green Acres was out. I believe while Harold Lloyd owned this. I have a feeling because I've seen the CIA do this before. I believe Green Acres and Beverly Hillbillies, which were out at I think virtually the same time, were out together in the zeitgeist, as we say, in order to cover up what could have been already going on at this Green Acres of Beverly Hills.
Wow. Wow. Hold on, because there's now I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but people, please be careful what you believe in the chat. Anybody can say anything. If you're revealing stuff in the chat, please put where you got that information. Verify it with a link, because I could say anything I want. Lewis, I had you on here. You didn't tell me what you were going to say. You said, I'm going to reveal something. Is that okay? And
Yep.
I said, I would love you to, because I trust you.
Right.
I verified enough things with you that after a while you understand. But people in the chat and all around, I must get 100 emails a week that say to me, Delora, this person said this person said that. Why are you still for Trump? Why are you? And they believe everything. You've got a man sitting here, guys. This is why I have him on. That was there then. Has proof he worked. He actually is giving those that work for President Trump an invitation to contact him. So it's very, very important that I'm so sick of people who call themselves truthers, and because they have a thought, they believe it's correct.
I know. Yeah. There's also something I call patriot parroting, where one person will say something and then everybody will forward it all over the place as if it's true. I personally like to do my due diligence and do my digging, and I pride myself on putting stuff out that can be verified, or at least enough circumstantial evidence that we can have a conversation about it. I do the same thing as my films, as you know.
Yeah, and I respect that. Now, Liberty Bell 57 just said, and you get to know the people in your chat if you can trust them. But I believe this. Did you know Trump sang the Green Acres theme song at one of the big award shows a long time ago?
Oh, I did not know that.
That,
Wow. There you go.
that, wow.
Woo, there they go right there.
Wait a minute.
There we
Now
go.
that, there it is. Hold on.
Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking for it right now. I'm going to share that, baby. All right. Here it is. Hold on. Hold on. Look who is introducing him. I got to share this. This is wild. Hang on.
Trump and Will and Grace's Karen Walker.
Oh.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
North is where I'd rather stay.
Wow.
I get allergic smelling hay.
Okay. I'm going to remove that.
That's wild.
Wild. Thank you for that. Thank you for that very much. Wow. Wow. Ah, unreal. Yeah, Aqua Girl. She says, I've lived in Hollywood, Beverly Hills for 30 years. I know stuff. I've been to parties and Playboy Mansion house parties. God protected me. Ditto. I'll tell you, Lewis, I can't share what it is, and I can't share where it was. But when I was invited to the big agencies would invite all those that had actors, and I had a big corral of actors, and I had 2 other managers working for me. And I would be invited to the big agencies. There's like 5 huge ones, 2 big, but 5 big ones. And I would be invited. I went to one. What I saw in 20 minutes, I left, never repeated it. Never repeat it, can never repeat it, will never repeat it. I wish I could erase it from my mind.
Wow.
That is the stuff. And I never went to another one again. Never.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's time for us to fix all of this. And I believe certain people were put in certain places by God, and He's known the plan forever. I'm just a cog in the wheel, and hopefully I can do my part.
Well, listen, Melissa Wixom just said, I believe Trump was allowed into those circles back then for such a time as this. I agree. I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it again. There's nothing more dangerous than a reform thief.
Wow.
I am a reform thief.
Yep, I understand.
I am a reformed worker of the occult. I am reformed. I found God, and my life changed. But now I know. I smell it. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Okay. I'm going to let you wrap up this segment, Lewis. Like, if you could take everything you said, condense it. And then we're going to go to some questions, if it's okay.
Oh, please. Absolutely. Anything.
Yes. And so let me just say this. I'm going to let Lewis wrap this up. So if you got here late, you understand what's going on. If you're on X, you can ask questions. I've got the feed. If you're on Rumble, I've got the feed. You can ask questions. All I ask you is to put 3 question marks before the question, and please keep it on topic. Wrap it up, Lewis, for me.
So just to summarize, there's a mansion in Beverly Hills, absolutely humongous, well known. The celebrities that attend parties there, gentleman or dude, let's call him, named Ron Burkle, purchased the property because he wanted to weasel his way into Hollywood. It worked. He hosted these parties. P. Diddy, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton has stayed there, it appears, for over a week at a time while he was president, telling everybody that he's in Martha's Vineyard and having parties with teenage girls while his Secret Service Team B, not his A team, were there watching over things because they're the ones that are the tight-lipped crew. And then later to find out this Ron Burkle guy is actually the godfather of P. Diddy's children and invested over $100 million into P. Diddy's business. And this, I've got evidence of the tunnels underneath there. I've had phone calls. I have multiple witnesses corroborating a lot of this stuff. And there's some very interesting things hopefully to come. And Cash Patel,
Wow.
give me a call.
Perfect. Okay. Christ Believer has a question. Lewis, how can these people ever be punished for all they have done? What needs to make that happen?
Well, I think we have man's punishment and the Lord's punishment. So man's punishment will be something that we will see. They need to be locked up. I'm fine with execution. I know there's a challenge with that in a Bible, but it also says eye for an eye. So at minimum, these people need to be thrown in jail for life, and you need to work them. And if anybody is in a 3-letter agency, they'll understand what I say when I say work them. for as much information as you could possibly
That's
get
right.
out of them to
Right.
take other people down.
Okay. Have you been have you been able to share this with our new government officials, Cash? Obviously, you haven't yet.
Not yet.
You're hoping you're going to be able to. Okay. Liberty Bell, do you think any whistleblowers who attended any of these parties will come forward? Before I get to Lewis, I believe they already have some of them. There are plenty, but go ahead, Lewis. You
Well,
answer.
Paris Hilton's already coming forward. I can tell you, I have information that Paris Hilton was absolutely at these parties that I'm talking about.
Okay. Aqua Girl, cleaning the CIA seems to be the key to not covering up these criminals, right?
Okay, so I'm going to take a hard line on this. I think the CIA needs to be eliminated. And if you need to rebuild a different type of intelligence
I
agency,
agree with you. I
you
agree with
can.
you.
You can, but the satanic sickness and the CIA, they are the enemy of the people, and that needs to go down. I'm almost there with the FBI because, well, the FBI's come after me and my family also, but I'm almost there with the FBI. But I believe they can probably clean up the FBI if the right people are in there with Cash and Bongino and so on and so forth.
Okay. Easy access. Will Cash investigate the city for hiding, not naming the street that led to these dark areas? That's an interesting question, Lewis. What can be done with that? I mean, can people call? But wait, let me ask you first. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got so many thoughts running through my mind. Is that a public street?
It appeared to be a public street. There's nothing blocking it. There were curbs on both sides of the street. There's a house
Okay.
at the end. I don't know that the city's covering this up as much as Google is covering this up, because Google's complicit in this stuff, and they have been for many, many, many years. Certain people can call and get things changed on Google. Now, in full disclosure, you don't have to be super wealthy to get something blurred out on Google. You just have to have a good case of why it needs to be blurred out. That being said, to completely remove a street name, that is ridiculous. That should be impossible. Should never be able to happen. So that's fascinating to me at the least.
Okay. You got a question on X from Peggy. Will any security members of Clinton's B team come forward, do you think?
I would doubt it because they're complicit. The A team
They know what's going on.
right. So maybe if they're on their deathbed, or maybe if somebody can get a hold of them, if we work the right people and can pull the information out of them, I believe that's the way it can happen. The security A team, though, can absolutely corroborate and say, yeah, we were asked to leave, and he was there for a week. They can do that, and then that would lead down. I've kind of had to reverse engineer this because I was in the middle of this, right, to figure this stuff out, where they would go from top down and bottom up to get to where they need to go.
Okay, this next one is not really a question by DG 1934, but definitely something I think is worth mentioning. I saw it as well. She said, I saw that Cash said to bypass Pam Bondi and send him the files. Now, my feeling is, without making a prediction here, one of them is going to resign soon. How are you feeling about that?
Well,
I think I know which one.
yeah, PB.
Yeah.
So here's the challenge. Pam Bondi was there in Florida when the Epstein stuff got pushed under the rug.
That's absolutely correct.
Pam Bondi is there right now when she's supposed to release the Epstein stuff, and suddenly she comes up and gives a bunch of podcasters binders from 2015 that don't even matter, and now she's saying, well, we're trying to grab the information. We all know they have the information, so that's a bunch of BS. They have it. Now, if they want it to appear because they're exposing somebody that they have to jump through these hoops, They can. I mean, let me give you an example. So Alina Habba yesterday came out with this massive revelation that Biden was filming everything from a studio with green screens, and it was a fake White House and a fake Oval Office. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. They come out with these, oh, this revelation, look what I figured out. Well, you and I were probably telling everybody about that 4 years ago.
Exactly.
Right. So they're
Wow.
the white hats are obviously, I call them gray hats because I don't like to be lied to. They're obviously playing
Right.
they're playing a game of some sort. As Steve Bannon does this all the time. Oh my gosh, look what we found. And we've been
Yeah, I
reporting.
won't. I can't do it.
No.
Louis, you hit the nail on the head. This is why I believe God's told me to stop having people on and don't go on any shows.
Yeah.
Because I can't, look at, if they want to play that, and a lot of them need to, and if they've got to put out this information, praise the Lord. You go do that, but you're not doing it here.
Don't involve me. Right.
Exactly. I'm done. Now, I got an interesting thing. Someone said, Brit Gal. Okay, question. Ron Burkle's son died at 26, unknown cause. Now, I took a real quick look. Let me read this to you. Brit Gal is right. Yeah, this is NBC News. This is from 2020. The son of California billionaire Ron Burkle was found dead at his home in Beverly Hills. Coroner Andrew Burkle, 26, was found unresponsive Monday and declared dead at the scene at about 7:30 p.m. Coroner's office said, and this is what Andrew was known as a young man full of life, entrepreneurial spirit. The coroner's office did not release a cause of death.
Okay, I'm going to take it to a whole nother level with this one. I'm glad you brought it up. So Andrew Burkle, yes, he died at 26, but what people don't know, when he died, most media outlets at the time, including his brother, said he was 27. Now, why is that important? Because there's something called the 27 Club.
That's right.
Which is the satanic killing of Hollywood and entertainment types.
Music.
And they're used as sacrifices. And as we know, if people of prominence will have to sacrifice a family member or flip their first child's
gender
in order to make it. This is part of the deal, part of the contract. So I thought it was very interesting. And by the way, there's a couple articles that are still out there that say 27, including his brother that said he was 27, which is weird because I'm sure his brother knew how old he was. Right? So they're hard to find now, but in 2020, I just happened to be reading them and they were all over the place. So that again should tell us where we're at.
Yeah. If you guys are interested in the 27 Club, I mean, it's, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse. I mean, I could go down a list. You just, not on Google, but either go to freespoke.com, go on X, go on TikTok, go on brave.com, put in the 27 Club. You'll see. Okay, Aqua Girl, do you think the fact that Marina Abramovich being child ambassador to Ukraine is some proof Ukraine corruption is all about trafficking? Interesting. I did not know that she was that.
I have not.
You know anything about that?
It's come across my feed. I haven't confirmed it, so I will say if that's true, that sounds that I think that's more like a gray hat move trying to expose these people, because that is wacky. We already know that human trafficking is huge in Ukraine. So
oh yes, okay. Zelensky asked her to be an ambassador in Ukraine.
Oh wow.
I thought you meant, I'm sorry, Aqua Girl, I thought you meant that the U.S. asked her to be an ambassador to Ukraine. So that is a Zelensky move. It's all over. It's absolutely true. And that is wild.
That is wild.
Wow. I have a very smart audience. Very smart. Molly Martini, Can't we do like a 6 degrees to Trump, like a 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon? LOL. I know someone who knows someone who talks to Trump. I'm sorry, we all can't do that. I don't know what she means by that. Do you, Lewis?
Well, the 6 degrees of separation to Kevin Bacon
Sure.
is
Yeah.
it just means is Kevin's connected to everybody in the world within 6 steps. I would venture to say, based on President Trump's prominence, he's probably 3 degrees of separation to everybody in the world.
Absolutely correct. And again, he is, you know, you have to realize, guys, and Lewis, I know you know this, President Trump has been invited the Clintons to his wedding. He has been amongst the elite of the elite. I mean, even, you know, The View loved him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they loved him. So he, you know, again, there's nothing more dangerous than a reformed thief. The man was not a choir boy. Either was I.
No, me
And
neither.
right. And so, you know, when you wake up and you see things and the help of being, you know, finding the spirit of things in life, you realize that that there was a lot more. He, in essence, I believe they are so angry because they believe he turned on them.
Well, it's infiltration is the key, because a war has never been won without infiltration. So whether he was tasked years ago to infiltrate, or
That's right.
or he was part of it and now it's disclosing, either way he was an insider. I mean, you have legitimate claims from people out there that says the following, which would be interesting. They say the following: I have proof that Trump is a Zionist. I have proof that he's in the mob. I have proof that he's a Jesuit. I have proof that he's a Mason. Guess what? I think all 4 could have been true. So if that tells you this guy, maybe he's been working these sickos for a long time. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have.
Go ahead.
Well, I have a theory that I'll just say really quick for anybody that's getting blackpilled on President Trump because of his connections to Zionist connections in Israel. I would just say, look at this, guys. People are very, very upset because of a lot of people in his cabinet. They feel they're Zionists, right? And they feel Israel. And I'll tell you, Mossad controls a lot. I know that firsthand.
That's right.
So that being said, why would Trump be associating himself with these people? Well, I'm going to tell you why, and it's very, very easy. And it's right there. It's called the art of war.
Exactly.
Right? So what he's doing is he's created, this is my theory, he's created a Trojan horse of sorts. So he surrounds himself with these pro-Zionist, pro-Israel belief system and people, while he's doing what? He's taking down the foundation of the Zionist regime and the Khazarian mafia. He's completely dismantling it. Bye-bye central banking system. Big farm is falling. Big agriculture is falling. The education system is going to be dismantled. The government is being dismantled. Those are all Zionist control, Khazarian mafia mechanisms. So he's just crumbling their foundation while he's shaking their hand. Hey, buddy. So I wish people would understand it may not be what it appears to be on the face of it.
That's right. And also, I want to say, if you look at the United States, here we are, Lewis, you're here, I'm here. People pro-America, people watching on the chat, on X watching. Because the last 4 years was run by a fake regime where the image of Biden was brought forward and all of everything that was happening was anti-America. It doesn't mean Lewis and I and all Americans that love America are that.
Right.
Mossad is bad. There are Zionist Jews running a lot of the government in Israel. There's a lot of this happening. It doesn't mean the Jewish people are bad.
Nope.
Don't point a finger at the Jewish nation.
Yep. Like I always say, there's good Jews and there's fake Jews. The fake Jews are running the world. right? And it frustrates me because I have a lot of people immediately. In fact, in this is a true story. Within an hour, one day, I was called a Jew lover and an anti-Semite by two different people. Oh,
That about says it.
yeah, I said I must be spitting the truth if I could, because I just like to find what the truth is. But
Exactly. But
it's
you can't, when people go, Israel, Israel, down with Israel, down with, that's not God's Israel. It's not what we're battling.
right.
We're battling people who really aren't Jews at all.
No, they're not. They're not. The
It's really,
With Khazarian mafia, they had to choose a religion or they would have been
that's right.
decimated by the Russian Tsar. And
That's right.
they said, where could we hide our Babylon magic the most? We can hide it within Judaism because there's more rituals than there are in the other two religions.
And that's why they made Israel a nation so quickly in 1949.
Exactly right.
Because they thought it was going to be what they wanted it to be. And
That's
there's a battle in the spirit now, Lewis. There's a battle for God's land. And he's going to win. But these people need to be identified and removed. The Mossad is basically the mirror of the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
The people don't realize that. But anyway, let me see if there's any last.
They may actually be better trained than the CIA. I know that would freak people out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. This was amazing. I think you and I have to do this. Your platform, my platform. We said this before and we didn't do it. We got to do this at least once a month, Lewis.
Well, you know, I would love to. I really appreciate spending time with you. I've got more disclosure.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Okay, just go to screwbiggov.com. To this day, I get ripped off of social media. So if I do, no big deal. All my social media links are on the top. So you just click it and you go, when we get taken down, we go within a couple hours, we're right back up on the new social medias. So just click those. If you want to see my documentaries, you can go to Rumble off of there, or you can find them on my site. They're loaded up on the website. I've got documentaries on human trafficking, on deuterium. I have my latest documentary is called Hurricane Hell. That's about what's going on in North Carolina. My new one I'm working on is the working title right now is called The Great American Psyop, and that's going to be a really good one, and it's really kind of right what Delora was saying in regards to I'm about as patriotic as it comes, but I'm patriotic to our constitutional republic principles, not to the deep state that's been running things for several years.
Okay, I'm going to answer one question, Aqua Girl, and then I'm going to get off in a few minutes. What can we do to teach, prove to the actual Christians who believe Trump is the Antichrist? Bible arguments ensue. Listen, I've got 15 I can give you, but I'm going to give you the biggest one. When the Bible says, now you're going to say Bible arguments ensue, so let's go by the Bible. When the Antichrist is revealed, if it's a man, it could be a system. He's supposed to be loved by everyone. Mic drop. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you need to say. That's beautiful.
That's all you need to say. That's all you need to say.
I love that. I'm gonna use it to a friend that keeps trying to blackmail me. Yeah.
It says. I mean, you can look. You just look up the scripture. I mean, go to Google. Antichrist, loved by everyone, Bible reference, and it'll bring you right there. That's it. There's a ton of them. I mean, I could do a Bible lesson on it, but he would be loved by everyone. Are you kidding me?
Right. That's incredible.
Really. All right. Okay. Let me just run through this quick. National gathering. We're going to have the tickets for you by either today or tomorrow, guys. So, go to thegatheringmovement.org, sign up. You'll get it first. Look at this is Fight, Fight, Fight. Love this hoodie. I live in it. Looks like it's being worn here. There's a necklace in the description. I thought she said bracelet. It's the fight, fight, fight necklace. Where do you go see it? You got to see the description. There's that. Here's the earrings. We got it all, the whole set. But this, look at this, Psalm 91, copper. It's hand engraved. Psalm 91 in copper on this tumbler. Please go to Delora's Closet on joincountry.com, or it's in description. This is how we're able to do the gatherings free, all kinds of other stuff. If you're first time buying on Join Country, use Welcome 10. You get 10% off, and always, always free U.S. shipping. Lewis, love this show. Changing the title, changing the description. Got to change the thumbnail. Never thought we'd go down and do a whole show. Thank you. This was amazing. If you know anybody that you can connect Lewis with, that he can get this information to, I will do the same. Great show. Lewis, God bless you. And please, Mariceli, please give her my love. And within a month, we got to do it again.
Love you, Delora. Appreciate you a lot.
Ciao, everyone. Remember, go in the power of God. Love you all. See you Friday.